You will feel clueless at times. This is really true. The word toxic, hindi kayo gaganon. They are afraid of the bullying. Hi guys, my name is Dancel. Welcome back to my channel. Today is June 9 and it's currently 10:24 p.m. So gabi na ngayon. Today is my rest day. I'm in my PJs already. This is just like a video call. But ang topic natin is the things I wish I knew before entering the hospital as a nurse. So maybe you click this video because you just passed the board exam and nagsasend ka na ng mga applications sa hospital and you're planning to work in a hospital. So before anything else, congratulations! Or maybe you are a student nurse na nagko-collect lang ng information sa magiging future profession mo. Keep going. This is just a chill night for the both of us. Kunwari magka-call lang tayo. Let's prepare the baby nurse in you. Some tips na mabibigay ko as a novice nurse. By the way, if you guys don't know me, my name is Dancel. I am a nurse, obviously. And I passed the board exam year 2023 and I had my 1 year and 3 months experience in the hospital. I am an OR/DR nurse, but right now I am working as an aesthetic nurse. That's why meron akong red nails. And I love my red nails. See? Match sila ng PJs ko. Ito lang yung parang general na mabibigay kong tips, what you can expect in the hospital. Because I remember during my time, that was December 2023, naghahanap ako ng mga gantong klaseng video. And I want to prepare myself kasi nga, first week ng January, sasabak na kami sa hospital. And wala akong mahanap more on mga day in a life. I am making this video for you. Let me be your guide. So without other further ado, let's begin. Number 1, nursing school barely prepares you for the real life. This is really true, guys. Iba yung inaral natin sa school, iba rin yung mga na-experience nating hospital duty nung mga student pa lang tayo sa totoong scope or work na ginagawa ng nurse sa isang hospital. Yung mga inaaral natin theoretically, you expect na na-adjust siya sa mismong practice natin here in the Philippines. Nagagamit natin ang nursing is an art. You need to be flexible of that. Hindi mo pwedeng parang, sabi po kasi sa book, ganyan na, hindi ko po gagawin yan kasi po ito yung sa book. No. Hindi kayo gaganon. You need to be adaptive. Hindi ka magmamalaki na, nabasa ko sa book sa page 252, there will be adjustment sa totoong practice ng nursing. Time management, prioritization, and handling chaos are learned on the job, not inside the classroom. Yung binibigay na patient sa atin during hospital duty natin, pili pa yan ng mga clinical instructor natin. In the hospital, you as a nurse, hindi ka na makakapili ng mga patients na ma-handle mo. Hindi ka mamimili. Hindi ka makakapili. Kung ano ang i-detect sa'yo, tatanggapin mo yun. Yes, you have the right to refuse, but most of the time, hindi ka makakapili ng pasyente mo. And you need to be ready of that. I am not scaring you because lahat naman ng hospital may mga senior nurses dyan. They will help you. Well, with my experience, big help yung mga senior nurses ko sa akin. And they really guided me. So with that, you just need to be adaptive. You just need to be flexible. You just need to be always up for it. Kapag may binigay na task sa'yo, go. But you just need to make sure na alam mo yung gagawin mo, na itanong mo yung gagawin mo. Always remember na this time, though understandable, bagong nurse ka, always remember that you have a license to protect. You are now practicing the license that you have, so you need to protect it. Number 2, the shift is non-stop. There are shifts na hindi ka na makakaihi, makakakain, makakaupo because it is really a busy day. For me, I tend not to use the word toxic most of the time. So, most of the duties that I have are busy, hindi toxic. So, ayokong gamitin madalas yung word na toxic or toxic ako, ganyan. Because may part na parang namamanifest mo yan eh. Pag tinanong ako, toxic ka, busy. Busy ako. Yun nga lang, kung may mga nantotoxic lang din sa akin, ganyan. Pag gano'n naman, nagsabihin parang kinukulit ka, kung ano-ano yung mga inuutos sa'yo na unrelated naman sa pasyente mo, pwede naman gawin ng paraan ng iba tapos papagawa pa rin sa'yo. That's why it's very important na parang kumain ka na before your shift, lalo na kung bago-bago ka. Ako, naranasan ko nung, as in talagang first weeks ko, na sa buong 12 hours ko, 5:30 ako pumasok, 6 p.m. na ako nakakain. Like, totoo. Kasi nga, number 1, ang bagal ko pa kumilos. Number 2, overwhelmed ako. Number 3, hindi ko alam kung tama ba yung ginagawa ko. Busy rin talaga. Mag-aantay ako ng sino yung nakikita kong parang medyo maluwag na para ipacheck ko na yung mga papel ko kasi nga mag-endorse na ako ng pasyente sa ward. Yung mga tipong ganun. And it's fine because sa mga ganung experience experiences ka matututo. And masaya siyang i-look back because kita mo yung progress mo along the way na yung ginawa ko ng 12 hours na yun, nag-handle ako ng pasyente ko ng 4 hours. Kaya ko na siyang gawin for 2 hours. Kasi nga napatagal ako sa papel ko. Kasi nga hindi ko pa siya kabisado, very new pa siya sa akin. That's why, hindi ko pa alam kung paano ko mapapadali yung buhay ko sa mga ganong bagay. First, I don't have the practice. It's not in my routine. And number 3, I am still learning. Even until now, I am still learning. And I love learning. May mga ganong shift lang din talaga. Though, not all the time. Life in the hospital is really a roller coaster ride. May time na pagpasok mo pa lang, busy na. May time na, okay, slow days. May time na pagbukas mo ng pagkain mo, may buzzer, need mo i-attend yun. What we have is working lunch. So, it means na pag hindi na kayo gaanong busy, dun ka na makakain. And mabilis ang kain lang yun. Lalo na kung may patient ka, makikisuyo ka lang na bantayan muna, then kakain ka saglit, then balik ka na ulit. You will get to see the beauty of teamwork sa hospital. And you cannot do it alone, sa totoo lang. No man is an island sa hospital, lalo sa OR. I am talking more of my experience and mas na-relate ko siya sa OR since yun yung area ko before and yun yung mga mas-share ko kasi dun yung experience ko. So that's why it is very important that you have a pair of scrubs that fit you, yung komportable ka, and a pair of shoes na makakagalaw ka rin ng maayos. I just unboxed a pair of shoes na pinadala sa akin. Wait lang. So ito siya. Bagong-bago siya, kaya inalaw ko siya dito sa taas ng kama ko. I will recommend this, since na-try ko siyang ilakad-lakad na dito sa bahay, I will recommend this sa mga ward nurses, ER nurses, yung mga by bedside. Hindi ko ito ma-recommend sa mga OR nurses since hindi naman ganito yung shoes na gamit namin. Scrub shoes yung gamit namin and hindi mo ito pwedeng isabak sa OR since sayang yung sapatos mo kasi anytime pwede kang maduguan. I highly recommend these sa mga bedside nurses. Lalo na it's very comfortable and may memory foam sa loob and it's very lightweight. This is from Hawkwell Care Cloud Zero Active. Sobrang gaan niya lang and sobrang comfortable niya sa paa ko. I'm size 6. I will use this sa clinic. Ayoko tong gamitin outdoor kasi ayokong parang madumi yung soles niya. Para sa clinic, malinis lang. Since I am now an aesthetic nurse. I love it. I love na na-enjoy ko yung mag-nail polish. Ang ganda-gandahan lang muna. Pumapasok lang ako sa hospital, ligo, mask, haircut. That's it. Ngayon, plancha mo na ng hair, makeup, and may nail polish pa ako. Number 3, it's okay not to know everything. You will feel clueless at times and that is normal. Lahat ng tao dyan sa hospital, lahat yan dumaan sa phase na pinagdadaanan mo right now, which is ang isang bago. Lahat ng tao sa hospital, be it yung pinakamagaling mong senior, be it kung siya yung pinakamagaling na doctor, na surgeon, nagkaroon din sila ng first day sa buhay nila. Nagkaroon din sila ng moment na naging clueless sila. Because in healthcare, it is an unending learning. Laging may bago, laging may improvement, laging may kailangan aralin. And it's okay na parang you feel lost, you feel overwhelmed, lalo na bago yun sa'yo. So it's okay to not know everything. They are not expecting you na parang alam mo na dapat lahat. Not because you have the license, it means that you know everything. That you are already an equipped nurse and you need to be humble. Hindi ka dapat maging hambog. Not because you have the license, dapat I am a licensed nurse and I know everything. Hindi ka pwede maging ganun. I am telling you, hindi dapat. You need to be humble. Lagi kong iniisip nun na sa room na to, ako ang pinaka may onting alam. That's why I need to learn from them. In my experience, talagang natuto ako from my seniors and I hope and I pray na ganung seniors din yung mga ma-encounter nyo. Talagang tinuruan nila ako, talagang kinalingan nila ako and they have my back sa mga oras na kulang yung skills ko, yung kaalaman ko. Like for example, IV insertion. Usually, 2 insert lang kapag bago. Then, maghanap ka na ng senior mo na baback up sa'yo. It can also boost your confidence kapag ganun. Kasi alam mo na may sasalo sa'yo. Not all the time, but it is a confidence booster for me na I can try. And kapag hindi ko nagawa, someone can do it correctly for me. Not only that, but my seniors also act as my coach. Like for example, mag-i-insert ng Foley catheter. Baba mo pa, open mo pa. Ganon. Because alam nila na hindi ko pa yung nagagawa sa buong buhay ko. It's not a normal routine of a normal person. It's okay to not hit the first insert. Those are some examples na it's okay to not know everything. Number 4, you need to speak up. even if you are new. You advocate for your patients, you advocate for yourself. Doesn't mean na bago ka, you are voiceless. Doesn't mean that you are new, wala ka ng good ideas. Always remember that you work so hard to be there. Your voice matters. And you are credible to advocate for yourself and your patient. If feeling mo may mali, may kulang, you speak up. Like for example, during surgery, may nawawala kang instrument, you speak up. That is very important. Kahit nahihiya kang magsalita, but you need to do the timeout. Kasi sa OR, meron kami ng tawag na timeout and ginagawa siya ng circulating nurse to ensure the accurate information about the patient and about the procedure. Doesn't mean na bago ka, lagi ka lang tahimik. I have a story. May nireceive akong patient nun. Late na dumating yung patient sa akin, though parang tinawag ko na siya 1 hour to 30 minutes. So, nandiyan na sila doc, parang ready na yung OR and the pressure is on. And ako yung circulating nurse. So, nasa akin yung pressure kasi bakit wala pa yung pasyente? So, nagkaroon ng endorsement and yung ka-endorsan ko is senior nurse. And I have huge respect sa mga senior nurses natin. I look up to them so much. Nga nag-endorsement na kami. So, nagtanong ako ng mga concern ko kasi may mga kulang. I always make sure if I will communicate sa mga katrabaho ko, I use the right tone, I use the right body language, I even use po, lalo na kapag alam kong nakakatanda sa akin, lalo kung senior ko or senior nurse siya sa hospital. So, tinanong ko, Sir, bakit po na late? Sir, bakit po hindi pa po na CBG? Ay, bakit sir hindi pa po nabigay antibiotic? Nireceive ko na yung patient, even if may mga kulang, since wala na akong magagawa. Andiyan na lahat ng team, complete na, yung pasyente na lang yung inaantay. Ang nag-interfere doon is yung head nurse ko, kasi nandun yung head nurse ko during that time. I am just tangulang, ganyan. I'm just observing. Bumalik yung ka-endorsan kong nurse noon. Kinuha niya na yung gamot na kulang. Bumalik siya, sabi niya, anong pangalan mo? Even if I have a well-printed name sa scrubs ko, I feel that is unnecessary. Nag-observe lang talaga ako. And yung head nurse ko na yung nakikipag-usap sa kanya na kailangan nga na siya yung magbibigay, ganyan. So, pinapasok siya sa OR. After that, the surgery was successful. The day after that, sa group chat siya ng nursing department, nagra-rant. Ako, nagbabasa lang naman ako noon since side of the story niya yun eh. But I remember it, the next day ulit, meron pa din. And naalala ko na sa simbahan ako noon. The words that hit me to respond, ang sinabi niya noon, verbatim, yan ba ituturo nyo sa junior nyo? That's the time na I feel the need to speak up. Hindi ganon yung naging scenario. Never naging disrespectful sa kanya yung head nurse ko. And I made sure na the message still respectful. Yun ba ituturo nyo sa junior nyo? Then nagpakilala ko na ako yung junior na ka-endorsan niya that time. So, my name is Denzel po and I am the junior. Hindi ganon yung scenario nila ng head nurse ko because I was there observing. It was just one message and that's it. It's not my intention to gain attention sa GC na yun or parang, have a medal. Ikaw yung palasabat na junior. Hindi naman. I just responded because number 1, hindi ganun yung naging scenario. Number 2, hindi ako parang pinalaki ng OR na bastos na junior nurse. Parang that's the thought kasi na ini-imply. Na yan ba ituturo sa junior nyo? And talagang sinabihan ako ng head nurse ko nun na, if alam mong tama ka, magsalita ka. And I did. And I learned it. And I'm thankful sa lesson na yun. I'm thankful sa scenario na yun. I gained confidence then to speak for myself. Everything na na-experience mo inside the hospital is yun din yung magiging bala mo. Also, you have the right to refuse kapag feeling mo may pinagawa sa'yo na hindi ka pa ganun ka-confident. But sa akin, every time na may bagong skills na kailangan kong matutunan, I really grab the opportunity na gawin yun. Na manonood muna ako sa YouTube paano siya gawin. Because eventually, may mga seniors nga na nasa likod ko na nagiging coach ko. Number 5, people skills matter as much as clinical skills. So you will spend a lot of time talking to relatives. You will encounter different attitudes, different behaviors. May time na nasa recovery room na yung patient nyo, pero buzzer ng buzzer kasi nangangamusta. Sa ganun, ang nagiging mindset ko is, ang patient ko, it is someone's mother, it is someone's father, it is someone's family member. And if I were the relative, I'll definitely do the same. That's why I gained a huge amount of understanding sa ganong klaseng mindset. They are just anxious. Their loved ones underwent a procedure and nangamusta sila, and that is normal. That mindset helped me to be patient sa mga ganong scenario. Parang ito yung naging mindset ko. For me, mas okay na ako yung nandito, that I am taking good care of other people's family member rather than family member ko yung sa gantong sitwasyon. So, I really care genuinely for the patients na na-handle ko. Knock on wood naman. If the time comes na ganun nga sa family member ko, sa loved ones ko, I hope yung mag-handle din sa kanilang healthcare provider, yung genuinely rin na nag-care sa kanila. Parang I am earning good karma by simply providing genuine care sa mga patients na na-handle ko. OR nurse ako, so ako yung tipong nurse na ayaw mong mag-aalaga sa'yo. Kapag ganun, ibig sabihin, for surgery ka. That's my mindset, and it's your choice if you're going to adapt that kind of mindset. But for me, it really helped me to have this high amount of understanding sa mga relatives na nangungulit. Kahit husband yan na nag-care sa buntis niyang asawang nagle-labor, mayat maya yan ang hihingi ng update, hindi umiinit yung ulo ko sa ganun. Parang if the time comes, gusto ko rin na ganun din yung maging reaction ng husband ko, magiging future husband ko sa akin, na kukulitin din yung nurse ko na humingi ng update. And by that time, I hope na yung mag-handle na nurse sa akin hindi mainitin yung ulo. I hope I earn good karma sa ganon. Good karma point. Being kind, calm, and clear will earn you more respect than being fast. If you have someone or a coworker who has grace under pressure, iba ka trabaho yun. Mas magaan sila katrabaho. Hindi yan maninigaw sa araw na pinaka-busy kayo, but rather, it will impose grace sa duty nyo. Yun yung mas nakaka-earn ng respect ko. Kalmado, because they have a clear mind and they know what to do regardless of the situation. And I try my best na maging ganun din kapag ako yung naging shift manager. Regardless kung busy yung shift namin, I do my best to stay calm, not to be an overly stimulating coworker na parang, hala. Ganun. Ayoko ng ganun. I personally don't like it kapag may nangnanag pa in a busy shift. Do what you need to do and we will survive this shift. You don't need to add pressure sa mga katrabaho nyo. Hindi ka magkakaroon ng medal kapag you keep on bragging na ang bilis-bilis ko mag-akit ng pasyente or naka-one hit ako. You don't need to brag about it. And you need to be mindful of your actions as well. Kasi maybe baka ikaw na yung nanto-toxic. Maybe ikaw na pala yung hindi nakafocus. People skills matter as much as clinical skills. Even if yung pag-answer mo sa phone, you need to try your best to say the right words at the right time, at the right place, to use the right body language. And that's why self-awareness is the first responsibility of a nurse. You need to learn yourself. You need to know your triggers. You need to know your past issues so that you can heal from them. Like for example, you have issues with grief. Nandyan ka to run a code. Hindi naman pwedeng iyak ka nun. You need to have a strong heart. You need to have a strong mind sa profession natin. Number 6, documentation is everything. And I learned it the hard way. If it's not charted, it didn't happen. You need to document everything. Assessments, vital signs, refusal, time ng pag-update mo kay doc, time na hindi ka nasagot ni doc, tourniquet time, time ng cutting, pag-ihi niya, anong oras, ilang ml, sumuka siya, what time, ilang beses na, ilang episode na. You need to document everything. And you need to make sure na yun din document mo ay tama. May time kasi, tao lang din naman tayo, di ba? Nasa isip mo gantong gamot, pero ang naisulat mo iba. Pero iba yung order ng doc sa brand na sinulat mo. You need to be focused. You need to be mindful when doing your charting because that is gonna be your protection. Kahit nasabihin mong aware kang ginawa mo yun but hindi mo na-document, it is still considered na hindi nagawa. If it's not charted, it didn't happen. That's gonna be the legal basis kung ano yung sinulat mo sa chart mo. And make sure na readable din yung mga sinusulat niya. I am guilty, you know. Number 7. Doctors are just people. So, don't be afraid to call them. But sa akin kasi every time tumatawag ako ng doctor, lalo na kapag mga alanganing oras, laging nagre-rehearse muna ako na pinapractice ko muna yung mga sasabihin ko. Yung spill ko, kumbaga, before ako tumawag kay doc. Tapos may time pa na nagising ko si doc sa tawag ko. So, kailangan maayos yung delivery ng words ko. One thing din pala, naalala ko lang about documentation. Like for example, phone order si doc. So, through call niya na i-order. I make sure na iti-text back ko yun. And for her or him to acknowledge na tama yung narinig kong phone order niya. And by that is gonna be my proof na in-order po yun ni doctors are just people. May time nakakalimot din sila. Yun pala yung in-order nila. So, you have the proof and the documentation na true phone order niya yun ang sinabi. Don't be afraid of them because at the end of the day, you are teammates. Same lang kayo ng goal. That is why you should not be afraid of them. Though, I know. Nakaka-intimidate din talagang parang makipag-usap sa kanila. Do your best na labanan yung sarili nyo. Go out of that little bubble and communicate. You just always need to be clear and direct, and again, be respectful. You are there for a reason, and it is your responsibility to update them. Lalo na if parang magpapaklarify ka ng order nila kapag hindi maintindihan yung sulat nila sa doctor's order, it is also their job. Don't be afraid na magpa-read back. Regardless kung makarinig ka ng, hindi mo ba naintindihan yan? Kailan ko pa ba dito? Bago ka lang ba? It's fine. It's okay. At least, ginawa mo yung part mo. Nagpa-read back ka. But for me naman kasi, mostly ng mga doctors na na-encounter ko sa first job ko is nice. Though, di man lahat, but majority na na-experience ko, they take time para i-read back sa akin yung order nila. Lalo na kung ako yung nagre-request na, Doc, pa-read back po muna. Tapos may pencil ako niyan. Tapos, isusulat ko kung ano yung sinabi nila. Kasi may time na occupied ka din. Tapos, makakalimutan mo na kung ano yung ni-read back. So, yun lang. Tip. Number 8, mistakes happen. Own them. Be accountable. You will make errors along the way, and you are not excused for that. You need to forgive yourself. Huwag mong ikulong yung sarili mo sa pagkakamaling yun, because it only means that you are trying and that you are learning. Makakamiss ka ng vital signs, may madidelay kang gamot, learn from it, and then you move on. After ng shift na to, itulog mo, then the next day, kailangan better ka na sa kung ano ka kahapon. Always remember that good nurses grow from mistakes, not from hiding them. Number 9, you'll see things that stay with you. The first code, the first post-mortem care, the first death na na-witness mo. I learned how to debrief myself from scenarios like that. Hindi naman pwedeng habang nag-run ka ng code, umiiyak ka. But actually, guilty ako, but hindi syempre halata. Pero yung luha ko nandito na. And that's the time na nagko-code. I remember 14-year-old and may kapatid akong 13. Yun yung mga bagay na nag-stay sa akin. Though, I'm not affected anymore, but I still remember the feeling na parang sumasakit na yung lalamunan ko kasi bawal nga akong umiyak. Nurse ako dun. Parang nakikirelative. Di pwede yun. Pasabi na ako, shit. Kasi pinapasok na sa ER yung kapatid nung patient, 6 or 5 years old, para i-kiss yung kuya niya for the last time. Yun talaga yung moment na talagang hawak na hawak ako sa luha ko na sana wag siyang pumatak. As a healthcare provider, you also need to take good care of your mental health. You can talk to a coworker, your work besties, if ever na kailangan mo ng emotional support. Frustrated ka for the day, you can talk to someone na pagkakatiwalaan mo just to debrief yourself and para hindi ka clouded sa thought na yun. And number 10, this is really a good reminder for the new nurses that the team you work with can either make you or break you. A good team can save you on a bad day. So be humble, help each other, be appreciative. Nursing is really a team sport. Personally, I really do my best to say thank you every time na natulungan ako, may tumulong sa akin, regardless if part yun ng scope ng work nila. I really do my best to say thank you, to appreciate the help na binigay nila sa akin, because a simple thank you goes a long way. Even a little sorry goes a long way. At the end of the day, there is no perfect work environment. We also need to have a self-check. Maybe yung mga jokes na binabato mo during work is insensitive. Maybe yung mga reactions mo is unnecessary. You need to be self-aware. Again, hindi mo pwedeng dalhin yung personal na ikaw sa trabaho mo. Well, for me, I get to identify kung ano ako for the day. Kung nasa hospital ako, naka-scrubs ako, naka-duty ako, I am a nurse and I should be professional. Kapag naka-pajama ako, nasa bahay ako, rest day ko, I am a sister, I am a daughter. Professional self ko, I'm really mindful of my tone. Kapag sa bahay, kasi kung ano yung nakasanayan yung parang way of speaking, yun yung nagagawa mo. Pero you need to detach it kapag nasa professional world ka. Yung mga seniors ko, each of them contributed to me. Sa gantong area, si sir ganito. Sa gantong area, si ma'am. So, ganun ko siya ginawa, and I do my best to be a good team player as well. Your team can either make you or break you. And yung naging perspective ko sa first job ko is extension yun ng nursing school ko. Parang another year of learning to. But, meron akong license na kailangan protektahan. And yung mga seniors ko, parang sila yung mga CI ko. Sila yung naging clinical instructor ko. And sa mga CI ko, I take it positively kung papagalitan nila ako. For some, they are afraid of the bullying. But for me, it is a matter of mindset. Like for example, sa iba, kapag dinadek sila or napansin nilang na parami yung deck sa kanila, for them, it is bullying kasi parang inferior sila. For me, I remember kapag dinadek ako ng senior ko sa maraming case, parang feeling ko, hala, pinagkakatiwalaan ako ni ma'am. Lalo sa mga may hirap na case, sa mga major cases, or kapag sa buong shift na yon, pinag-harvest ako ng scrub case, kaya feeling ko parang, hala, gusto akong matuto ni ma'am. Binababad ako ni ma'am sa scrub. Gusto niya akong gumaling. So for me, it's not bullying. Halimbawa, pinull out ako. Hala, gusto nila ako matuto sa ibang area. Yun ako. And for some, parang burden yun kasi, ba yan, pull out na lang, hindi ako pumasok, ganyan. But of course, may mga ganong moments ako, but most of the time, I am happy na parang napupull out ako kasi it's another learning. Even if nasa OR ako, nakakatulong ako sa ER minsan. For me, ako yung nakaka-benefit nun kasi learning ko yun. This is just another tip. Take all the time to learn sa baby nurse era nyo. This is just a tip from year 2 baby nurse sa magiging first year baby nurse. Appreciate it kapag napupull out ka because it is a kind of learning na hindi mo magagawa everyday. Ka-benefit nun is ikaw. Every nursing area is important and iba-iba yan ang ginagawa. Take the pull out as an opportunity to learn. Siguro for the senior nurses, burden na yun kasi parang chance nila yun to rest sa mga area nila. But for us, we grab that opportunity kasi hindi yan everyday we pull out. Because with that, you will learn and you will grow. That is it guys for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you reach until this end, comment this emoji. Ang daming opportunity ng isang nurse. So, enjoy the nursing journey. Let's enjoy it together. So, thank you so much guys. And I'll see you in my next video.